We're just outside of Moab, Utah, just outside of Arches National Park. Over this next weekend, we're gonna be at the Out of Moab conference. There's a lot of really cool people at this conference, including this guy right here.
I was gonna say I'm not one of them.
There's a lot of cool people and
Plus
Thomas Heaton, plus one. Thomas and I were leading one of the excursions together. And one of the things that we have to do is go scout this particular arch, since neither one of us had ever even seen this trail before. So before leading a bunch of unsuspecting photographers, we're gonna go scout it out and at least experience it once for ourselves.
So are we actually doing that workshop together?
I think so.
I had no idea.
I think so. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're also very educated on what's gonna happen.
Professional.
Yeah.
And what we do.
Very much in the know. We like to be prepared. So unfortunately, the clouds are almost gone now. I'm kind of skeptical as to whether we're gonna have any clouds at all. That's okay, we're here to scout. It doesn't really matter if we get the world's best shot, but still, really cool place. So we're just kind of wandering around, kind of getting ideas for possible compositions. Anytime that you're shooting in conditions where the sky is really not helping the shot too much, you have to make the shot about something other than the sky and include as little of it as possible. You really have to have a strong composition when you're shooting in these kinds of situations. So what I'm looking for are areas where not only are we getting the arch in the background, that's kind of a given, but I'm also looking for areas where I can have a really interesting foreground. So I found one composition where the light is kind of creating this triangle down into the corner of the frame. I'm kind of liking that. Now I'm gonna start walking around and looking for telephoto shots. Anytime the sky is not really adding to the shot, you might as well exclude as much of it as possible. So for the past several minutes, I've been photographing the cliffs that are catching light kind of opposite the two arches here. The benefit to shooting that way is that we have these clouds that we're catching color. They are the only clouds that we have to work with tonight. So I was trying to make the most of that by shooting with slightly longer focal length and eliminating some of the empty sky. So behind me, we have Bowtie Arch, which is a really cool arch. And I've taken several shots of it, but I'm not sure that I've gotten anything that I really love. It's kind of a hard to photograph arch. So Thomas and I are gonna wait around and see what happens with our sky shooting opposite the sunset. We've got a few minutes left to go before that happens. So we're gonna go get a composition set up, wait around. Hopefully all these tourists leave. Man, I hate tourists. So our moment has finally gotten here. I've taken a couple frames. Let me show you the composition I've been working on. So I absolutely loved this kind of gnarly, crooked little tree that we got going here. And it also serves to fill some of the empty sky that we have going on the right side of the frame. It kind of balances with the arch. I feel like anytime that you can have more than one interesting subject in your frame, it's going to be a stronger image. Everybody that owns a cell phone has come and photographed this arch, but hopefully I'm coming away with something slightly different by having multiple subjects in the frame. Turned out as good as we could probably get. We milked it with the conditions. We got the most out of
No pressure, Nick.
We got the most out of the conditions that we were given by waiting for the kind of soft pastel skies kind of opposite where the sun was setting, because there really wasn't much for skies tonight. But I'm looking forward to the conference, which starts tomorrow. We have to head to the instructor dinner thing, and we have to hike all the way back to the car, so we better get on that. All right. So
run out onto the field.
So this is all the instructors getting ready to make their entrance. So we have Aaron Bobnick, Thomas Heaton back here, Josh Cripps over there.
Just had our instructor meeting and ran down here, make sure everyone's all on the same page. I did this at the out of Chicago conference right here, and I'm like, yeah, it's instructors or something, not instructors, and give you
Back in the day, back in 2006, 2005, I don't remember.
So the Out of Moab conference has kind of come and gone, and I haven't really got to film very much. It's not really super appropriate during a conference to film very much, but it's been a great time. I haven't got to shoot a ton, but I did get a couple of really cool light events, I guess you would say. At Delicate Arch, we got an awesome sunrise. Got some really moody shots the second time we went to Corona Arch. Now we're at a place called Green River Overlook, and it's this absolutely massive overlook over this really deep canyon. I don't know how deep. And we're up here kind of exploring some desert scenes. There's all of this nice desert flora and fauna behind us to shoot, kind of while we're hoping for some rays of light to hit down in the canyon. Right now they're not, so it's a little bit flat, but we're shooting other stuff in the meantime. Really beautiful place. Yeah, and I'm hoping, I don't know if that crack's gonna be big enough.
Yeah.
This is one of those places where you want to tie your shoes because it's a long ways down. Absolutely massive cliffs here. So like every other night, haven't really got too many photos and I haven't recorded hardly any video, but it's been a beautiful, beautiful night. We got a good sunset. I didn't really get any photos of it. I was too busy being, a workshop instructor, but I'm gonna take a shot here in this little bit of twilight glow we have going on and see if I can get something. What a gorgeous night. We got a nice sunset. Beautiful, beautiful place. Green River Overlook, just outside of Moab. So this shot's pretty simple. I've got a nice flat horizon line, so I only need 2 shots for exposure. I'm gonna do a 2-shot bracket f8 because everything's far away. I'm gonna do ISO 100, 1 second for my bright exposure, and 2 stops darker for my darker exposure. Boom. All right, so we gotta get up early. Hopefully get some good photos in the morning. I'll catch you guys in the morning. And so for about the 5th day in a row, it's raining again in Moab. In a way, it's really cool that it's rain because, it's a condition that the desert doesn't get all the time. And with rain comes the chance of rainbows and really interesting light. Sometimes the rain just doesn't let up though. It's kind of tough.
reception there, even with.
So this morning we're photographing Dead Horse Point. The clouds are not looking very favorable. We have the opposite of what you want. We have clouds low on the horizon, and then big empty skies up above us. But you never know what'll happen, so we're gonna see. Oh, that's a nice. This guy right here. This one. Tree speaks to you. That's the tree.
That's the tree. We're gonna go exploring.
So this place is pretty awesome. It's a long ways down. Another bad place to fall. The benefit of being here during sunrise is there's fewer people, because during sunset there's a whole bunch of tourists kind of sitting on the ledge and in your frame. Then you have to push them off, and it's a big inconvenience, but we're here just kind of waiting for the light to pop up. Kind of a cool storm cell in the background. Unfortunately, that storm cell is right where the sun's gonna rise, so we're probably not gonna get much for light until later in the morning. So we're gonna take some shots now while the light's kind of soft, and then we'll wait for the sun to pop up and see what happens. There are these little juniper bushes that we're really liking, kind of using as a foreground element to really give the shot a sense of depth. Because without this foreground, it just kind of feels like a helicopter shot, like you're taking it from an airplane or something, because everything is so far away. So we're trying to include some of these junipers and some of the rock in the foreground to give it a sense of place. So because there's a fair bit of wind, one of the things that we kind of have to keep an eye out for is blurry bushes. Because as the wind blows the little juniper bushes that we're using in the foreground, we're going to end up with blurry juniper bushes. So one of the things that you can do to avoid that is take an ISO 100 shot of the entire scene with that long shutter speed. Do another shot with a little bit more open aperture, higher ISO, and a shorter shutter speed, and get nice sharp juniper bush, and then mask that in Photoshop, and that's what I'm doing. So I just took a 15-second exposure, and now I'm going to speed up my shutter speed right around, I don't know, a 25th of a second or so. Open up my aperture. 3.2. Now we're going to increase our ISO. Now I'm going to go up to ISO 800 and take one more shot, and then I'll mask this shorter shutter speed in with the longer shutter speed. That way I can end up with a noise-free scene with a sharp juniper bush. So what you got going on, man?
I'm taking in the view, just checking it out, waiting for the light to hit.
Yeah, we're starting to get light hitting the distant rock cliffs, and that's what we've been waiting for, because I think that's probably going to be the best shot or the best light that we get this morning, and it's starting to happen. The sky's looking pretty nice in the distance. It's brisk, it's a little bit breezy. This gorgeous place to shoot. So we're starting to get direct light hitting the cliffs, and it's so gorgeous, especially when it starts to hit a little bit deeper down into our composition. Really draws the eye in. cool part of this location is that you get really nice side light on all of the, it's awesome. You get really nice side light on all of the cliffs down in the river valley. It's gorgeous. We've been using polarizers to cut through the haze, and it's pretty cool. It's definitely a good way to finish the trip. I'm excited about a lot of the photos that we've gotten. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Here's the photos we got, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everybody.